Hello. Welcome to my island. This is the first Animal Crossing video that I'm making, so I sound awkward as fuck. Anyway, I'm Meg, and if you have watched me on YouTube before, on my vlogging channel, I decided to start a gaming channel because I spend a lot of time playing games in my free time, and so I thought I would turn my free time into content. So here we are. For my first video, I just thought I would do a little bit of an island tour. As you can see from the map in the bottom right corner, I haven't done an awful lot. I've had this island for 2 years. I am one of those players that will play for all of like 2 months and then never touch the game again. And that's exactly what happened with this island. So I've only really started decorating it recently, hence why not much is done. But I thought I would give a tour. So then if I do any decorating moving forward, I can make videos about it. This is my island. We'll start by looking at the map so that you can see all of the villages that I've got. I named my island Honeydukes because I like Harry Potter and I couldn't think of another name. So this is Honeydukes. To go over the villages that I have got, as you can see in the bottom right, there is currently a spot missing. I had a villager move out today and we'll get into that in a minute, but these are my current villagers. I have Bo. I had Bo on a previous island that I had before I had this one, and I love him. He might be my favourite lazy villager, and I think that's evident by the fact that I have had him on multiple islands. So he was one of the first ones that came to my island, and he has remained. And I don't think he's ever actually asked to move out either. Bo shall be staying until I reset this island at some point in the very distant future, if at all. Then we have Marshall. Marshall was also one of the first residents that I had. I'm sure I found Marshall on one of the first villager hunts that I ever did, when you put the 3 housing plots down and you have to go and find villagers. I'm sure Marshall was one of the first ones that I found there. And again, he has remained. He has asked to leave, and I say no every single time because I love Marshall and he will stay here forever and ever. This is Sylvana. Unfortunately, she is leaving. She came up to me today and decided that she wants to leave. After today, she will be no more. I don't currently have anyone filling her spot right now, so I need to do a villager hunt. That'll be fun because I hate villager hunting. I'm gonna hate every single second of it, but I think I'm gonna have to do a villager hunt for Sylvana because I do have amiibo cards, but with amiibo cards, you need to invite them 3 times. Sylvana will be gone by the time I can move said amiibo in, so I'm gonna have to do a villager hunt. We have Lolly. Lolly, again, was one of the first 3 that I ever had from the villager hunting. I love her. I do enjoy normal villagers, but prior to this current lineup that we have now, I had 5 normal villagers and it gets boring very quick. They don't overly have a lot to say, and I kind of realised after having 5 normal villagers that I don't overly like having multiple of the same villager. I enjoy having a variation. I kicked a lot of them out. We have Chai. I didn't know for a long time, despite playing Animal Crossing since I was like 6, that they had Hello Kitty amiibo cards. I literally played New Leaf and everything. Didn't know. And I love Hello Kitty. So when I found out, I ordered those amiibo cards straight away. Cinnamoroll is my favourite character. My favourite Sanrio character. And Chai was my favourite villager in the pack of amiibo cards, so naturally I had to invite her onto my island. I'm trying to remember who she replaced. Oh, I had the purple bear called Megan, which is a coincidence because I'm called Megan. Yeah, I replaced her. She literally gave nothing, so I got rid of her and replaced her with Chai, and Chai is a peppy villager and brings so much drama and we love it. Then we have Judy. So Judy was actually an autofill, which is great for me because I love her and I really wanted a snooty villager anyway, but basically Renee the horse wanted to leave and she was my day one. Like, she literally came to the island with me and she wanted to leave, so I let her leave. And yeah, I never went villager hunting simply because I forgot to play the game the day that the plot became available. So then the next day when I went on it, it was already filled and I was like, oh shit, this isn't going to be good because usually it's someone I don't want. But it was Judy, and I was quite happy about it because I've never had her before. Yeah, that was kind of a slay. Then we have Fang. I did, in fact, bring these last 3 via Amiibo. So I really wanted a grumpy villager because, as I said, at that time I had so many normal villagers and it was annoying. And I didn't have a grouchy villager. So yeah, we had Fang's Amiibo, so I invited him. And now he is a very, very popular resident for me because I love him. And then we have Scoot. Scoot replaced Meringue. She was a normal villager. And I had no jocks. And I thought Scoot was pretty cute. And we had his amiibo, so I thought I'd invite him, and that is the only reason. But he's fitting in quite well so far. Yeah, there's not really much else to say about him. I haven't really had him for that long. Same with Cherry. Cherry's a sisterly, and again, she was the one that I replaced Lily with. Yeah, I invited Cherry. I've literally had her for like 3 days, so don't really have an awful lot to say about her, but yeah, as you can see, I have been working very hard around my plaza and my entranceway and nowhere else. At the moment on the left side of the island, it's still very much a work in progress, as is kind of the right side of the island, you know, the rest of it. With that, we will go and do a little bit of a tour. This is my airport. I have a green one. My native fruit is an orange. I can't remember what my native flower was. Anyway, oh my god, I didn't even talk about who's filling the plot. Right, so quick, don't look, don't look, don't look, don't look. So we have this free plot right now. This is where Sherry used to live. She was one of my favourites. I had a campsite villager yesterday and I rarely get them. So I was like, you know what we're going to do? We're going to go in and see who my campsite villager is. It was Eloise. Naturally, I was like, oh, I kind of want Eloise. And she asked to kick Sherry out. And if I'm being honest, out of the peppy villagers that I have, it was between Sherry and Chai. I would rather keep Chai. So I did in fact say, let's kick Sherry out. She was one of the 3 that I found on my first ever villager hunt. But you know, I think it's nice sometimes to move villagers out and replace them with new ones, especially ones that you haven't necessarily had before, just because it keeps it fresh, you know. Let's get on with the tour. So this is my entranceway. Vibe-wise for the island, I have no fucking idea. I'm just kind of going with it right now. I kind of want it to be quite, not necessarily foresty, but kind of like, I want there to be like a lot of trees and kind of like the further away from the plaza you get, there's a lot more greenery and it's a lot more natural. But I don't want it to be particularly abandoned or not built in a way, and I don't want it to be too built up around the plaza. So this is my entranceway. We've got the well here, we've got a nice little drink station thing with a puddle underneath it and this bench. I've been kind of trying to mix fences with trees and bushes, so instead of just having trees and bushes as like working as fences everywhere, I wanted to kind of have actual fences too. And vice versa. I didn't want too many fences, and you'll kind of see that as we continue on. I saw this arch and I was like, I need to use that in my entranceway. As you probably saw on my map, my plaza isn't very far away from my airport, so I didn't have an awful lot of space to work with, and I've kind of just gone with it. From here, there's multiple different ways we can go. Let's go this way because this is the shortest route really. If we go up through here, this takes us to resident services. Yeah, not an awful lot to say about resident services. I have tried using a mix of the different streetlights. These are just like the normal street lamps. And then down here we have the round ones. It's more, I like having kind of a variation on my island. Same goes for any of the fences and that used as well. I kind of didn't stick to one specific fence. I've kind of used loads of different ones, just because I think it makes it look a bit more interesting for me personally. If we go left, we have this nice little picnic area. Yeah, there's not really much to say about it. I thought it'd be cute to be near the beach, especially because you can kind of hear the waves from here. I'll either repeat this somewhere else or move this somewhere else eventually, I think. This is just here as like filler for now. Okay. And then we have this garden. The Fang's house was originally right on the other side of the fence, so it kind of looked like it was his garden, which was kind of cute. But I think eventually I am going to move this because it's quite small and I want more space for it, because whilst I enjoy the flowers, sometimes there can be a lot of them, especially when they breed and respawn. So I eventually want to kind of make like a community garden, and I think I'm going to do the same with the farm, but we haven't got around to that yet. If we go up here, I made like a nice little sitting spot. I don't really know what else to put up here because it's not an overly big cliff. Same with over there, that one's not accessible other than up the vines. I just kind of wanted them to look nice from down here, but because I wanted to put a bench up here, it made sense to have an incline. That's just more there for aesthetics. Then if we go around here, we have a bit of a nature path and this cute little sitting area, which is right next to the other one on the cliff. So I don't know whether I'm going to keep this here or not, but I think it's a nice little corner. And it's right by a little waterfall that I made in the background, so I think it's quite cute. Maybe I will keep it here and I move the one up there, or I'll just keep both. If we go around here, this is a nice little walkway I made. I was really proud of this, and this comes back to resident services. Oh, that's fine. So from resident services, we can go behind there, but I'm not going to go there yet. I'm going to continue back this way because we have a bridge. This bridge I'm eventually going to get rid of, and I'm going to fill this in with ground and keep the path going, just because I don't really want this bit all being a river. I haven't got around to doing that yet. So we have a bridge for the time being, then we have this other little walkway, we have this. So I am building a bridge. I haven't paid it off yet, so that's probably not coming for a few days because I do not have the bills for it. I started this earlier today. I made another cliff and I haven't been able to continue it because my museum's there because I need to move it. But this one I want to be a lot bigger, and I think I want to have 2 or 3 villagers on the top of this. I don't know who yet. I'm still figuring that out, but we have Nook's Cranny. So I have my little farm here. I do have more crops near my house and Beau's house, which aren't going to stay there. They're going to go with the rest of the farm, and the farm isn't staying here either. I don't know whether to keep Nook's Cranny here or not, because I kind of like the fact that it's not far from the beach, but then I'm also like, is it a bit strange for it to be all the way out here? And then like, I kind of want my Able sisters and my Nook's Cranny to be not far from resident services, as that side is a bit more built up. So I feel like it'd make the most sense for the shops to be kind of this side. So I need to figure out where they're going, but I haven't got any idea. But that's all for over there for now, because if I come up here, we have 2 villager homes and absolutely nothing else. From resident services again, we can go this way. We have another nice little pathway which goes down here and it comes back to the entrance, but I do kind of want it to continue on this way, and I'm thinking maybe put Nook's Cranny and Able sisters over here, but I'm not overly sure yet. If we go up here, we have Fang's house. This is obviously not the normal exterior of Fang's house. I did remodel it as well as the interior, but he's not home, so I cannot show that right now. Basically, I kind of want this vibe with the rest of my villagers' houses, so like this style of the house, but the actual paneling and the roof and the door, the colours and the styles of them, I'm changing based on whose home it is. Fang's house was very like beige and white, and he had this door, I believe, or a very similar one. So I decided to kind of keep that vibe, and all I did was change the colour of the roof to kind of match his kind of colour because he wears a blue jumper. That's Fang's house. I gave him this little like deck area with these chairs and a barbecue, just because I thought it'd be nice for him to kind of have that kind of hangout spot, because he is quite friendly with most people on the island, so I imagine he has a lot of friends. Then I also gave him a washing line and a wash basket, just because I feel like it just makes sense. Yeah, I've got a utility pole. I've never actually used this item in any of my previous islands before, and I kind of like it. It kind of gives the feel of this side of the island being a bit more built up. Same with these streetlights, because I don't think I'll use these particular ones when it comes to the more like rural side. If we go back here and we go up this staircase, we have this area. This is Marshall's house. And I made him this area first. So this was one of the first cliffs I sorted out. Mainly because I wanted to have closed off pathways to resident services. And I thought, why not put a villager up here? So the reason why I chose Marshall is because he is always in the bloody plaza. And when I say that, I mean he is always there singing or doing yoga or dancing. So there he stays. I quite like Marshall's little secluded cliffside. Again, he's got this wash bucket and a washing line. I've also given him this little seating area, and he could also spin around this way, which I know the villagers don't, but let's just imagine. And yeah, you can kind of just sit here and look out over the waterfall. Then I gave him a coffee because if anyone remembers or knows what his interior originally looks like, but this is what his, speaking of coffee, look at him. He's just like me for real. So I gave him a coffee outside because he literally has coffee all over his house. So I felt like it made sense. So yeah, this is Marshall's little bit. So if we come back down here, this is one of the parts I've been working on today, but we'll come back to that in a minute. Over here is a lake. I was sat there thinking what I wanted to fill this space with because I want to keep my campsite here, but I want to kind of close it off a bit more. So I think eventually I'm going to bring these cliffs down so that there's a river here and then a cliff on the other side, so it's kind of closed off a bit. But I was like, well, what do I kind of fill the rest of the space with? I filled it with a lake. And this little river bit is a new part of it that I sorted out today because I kind of wanted something to kind of make this section kind of closed off as well. And so I thought of a waterfall, but then if the lake was so close, I was just like, we might as well just merge them. So yeah, that's my campsite. I haven't really done a lot to it yet, so it's a work in progress. This is my newest part that I am still working on because I needed to collect more wood, which I have done, to make another stall. I thought we could do a little market area, so I want another stall here, maybe another one here, and another one here, and kind of have like a little market area. There's literally no reason behind it, I just wanted to use the stalls. That is pretty much my entire island as it's decorated so far. I need to do a lot more to it, but I hope you liked my island tour. So far, it's a work in progress for sure, and I definitely have a lot of stuff to fix or create on the island, but I will be taking you all on the ride with it now. I'm not good at outros, so I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!